Good evening, everyone. Guys, you have no idea how excited I am to finally be able to play this game. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open up Discord.
Because that thing fits an artificer so
And there
well.
they are right now, already talking things out. What's up,
Yeah.
guys?
How you doing?
I'm doing alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to our DM here, and he can go ahead and take over. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. This is the thanks for putting me on the spot, by the way. Uh, this is the first session of our second campaign in this realm. We've got some fresh faces, one of which we lost, but they'll be back shortly. Uh, so Sneering Cupid, let's go ahead and start off with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello there, my name is Sneering Cupid. As if you have seen any of Sheriff's streams, you've known I've been a lurker there for a while in the chat, and I have been a friend of both our lovely DM and our lovely shotgun for quite a while now. And this is, however, my first ever D&D campaign, so I am both nervous and completely excited about it.
Love it. All right. Uh, May, how about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi. So technically, I've only been playing D&D for about 5 years, but I've actually been reading up on it and stuff for a little over seven.
Mhm.
So I've got a lot of knowledge of when it comes to actual rules and stuff. But met Angel and John when they came to a campaign that I joined after another game that I was playing fell apart, and we kind of became friends.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Chloe, how about you?
Hi, kind of nervous just because this is my first time doing like D&D with the Twitch thing, but I'm excited nonetheless. I watched the last campaign, is pretty interested in this one, and I'm excited to play a bard, Myrrh.
Yeah. Okay. Seraph, I mean, we already know plenty about you, unless you want to tell us about your D&D experience.
Oh, man. We're kind of skipping over Ruby here. Is she away?
They are a little preoccupied. They'll be back shortly.
Fair enough. Oh man, I have been playing D&D for Christ, I don't know, like almost 10 years now. It's somewhere around there, more than 5, less than 10. I have played so many different kinds of characters. I have played, let's see, the class that I'm playing in this particular campaign, I've played a few times, and I've come to really love it. And as far as monks go, you either love them or you hate them, and well, I certainly love them. I am playing Six, the rough and tumble street brawler, and will absolutely end up being the party's blunt instrument. So I'm really interested on seeing how everybody meshes together. This is going to be very interesting.
All right. So, laziest of pandas, Zebra Ursa. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, way to introduce me, give away all my secrets right off the bat.
I mean,
Hello,
talk about it
everybody.
all the time.
You caught me there. Hello, everybody. My name is Tida Panda. I just had a horrifying realization. I thought I had about 10 years of experience with D&D, and then I realized I'm older than that. I have 20 years of D&D under my belt. I've played as a player. I've played as a GM. It's actually how I start to make friends and socialize. It's been a wonderful thing for me. Tonight, I will be playing the wonderful but not too bright Sarah. She does her best, but she is definitely not understanding the danger she's in. So hopefully that'll get a few giggles out of you.
Love it. Uh, Very. We're familiar with you a little bit. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself.
Hello, I am Fulberry. I have been playing D&D off and on. I just now realized the other day that 5e is almost 10 years old. So yeah, about 10-ish years with only a couple of years of 3.5 under my belt in Pathfinder. But yeah, I didn't get to play much. I've usually DM'd, but this is going to be fun playing Valediction, the Kenku. It's going to be
Okay.
fun.
I'm not gonna lie,
Ark.
I've been sort of pronouncing your name
Hello.
as Valediction, but go ahead.
Same. Ark, tell us about yourself.
Hello. I am Ark of Corona, or Ark for short as they call me. I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons for 8 years. Well, a little less than that. I haven't played that often. But I mean, I played campaigns, I played homebrews, and one shot of
Mhm.
Pathfinder.
All
I
right.
met Seraph, I think, a few years back when we played a game on someone else's live stream. And I met Pringle when I joined her server.
Yeah, we met about a year ago when we played Dead by Daylight with Biscuit, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Vilish.
Hi,
You're up.
I'm Velish. I've been a part of this group for a little over 2 to 3 years, about the same amount as I've been playing D&D. Angel here was one of my first few DMs, and then it was Maeve. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still green.
we actually met shortly before I ended up meeting May. That D&D game where that fell apart was entirely my fault. I killed most of the party once I noticed. Well, V had pulled me in to voice a villain in their D&D campaign, so I kind of like sat back and I just like listened to how they were playing the game, and I noticed it was really kind of haphazard, and there was a lot of confusion, and there was a lack of direction. So I spoke with the DM of that campaign and asked if I could possibly help out a little bit, help give some direction and what have you. And we sort of like spitballed some ideas back and forth. So I mean, I was still playing a character in his campaign. It was still his, but he ended up, giving me the reins himself. It's like, here, have fun with it. Just show him a good time, because I don't know how to do this and I need some help. It's like, great, I can do that. So I ended up guiding them. Welcome in, Daycloth. Thank you for the lurk. I hope you have a great time. I don't have a bot currently working, but I do see you there. Thank you. So I ended up taking this campaign that was beginning to fall apart, and I started to give it a bit more direction. Let me dismiss my alarm here. I started to get a bit more direction and started to steer into my own campaign while making it more immersive in their own campaign. So it was less like it fell apart and more like it was just a continuation in a different world. And that's how we all got together as friends and started actually talking and hanging out and playing D&D together. So, yeah.
Okay. And I am Pringle the Goldie, also known as Dungeon Daddy for this campaign.
Absolutely
Sorry,
not.
mate. Yes, you will. Give it time. uh, I've been playing D&D, what was it, about 3.5-ish years now. I've had a little bit of DMing experience through a Final Fantasy tabletop game, actually, for a couple sessions, but that ultimately fell apart. And I hadn't touched any tabletops until Seraph dragged me back into it. I fell back in love very, very quickly. And yeah, about a couple months after that, we started our first campaign. And now here we are, live on Twitch.
Yeah, you
So,
guys saw the end of that campaign with my first D&D stream with Lena. Lena was actually the character that started all of this, and I'm really looking forward to what, comes in the future. Carry on, Dungeon Daddy.
Is everybody ready?
Sound good.
Yes, sir.
Let's fucking go.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, and creatures of unknown origin, welcome to an area. The year's 856 AE, or after emergence. With the unending war having subsided once again, the lands are now on the mend as the two great nations of Rudania, Torshavn and Advalor, were able to find peace 30 years ago with the signing of the 25th Peace Treaty. Citizens from both sides of this continuous destruction are hesitant of the treaty's longevity, but have found new hope in the birth of a small, unnamed nation in the heart of the conflict known as the Neutral Zone. A flourishing region while home to people from both nations, the Neutral Zone has closer ties to the nation of Torshavn due to its close proximity to the dense jungles of their northern brethren. That being said, the Neutral Zone has become a point of intrigue across the realm of an area, leading to trade between both nations and intrigued eyes from foreign lands looking to establish connections with the people of the region. The leader of this region, Verdant Lord Harlan Thorald, was at the heart of the recent peace treaty, carrying on his late grandfather's legacy by once again calming the war between the two bigger nations of the land. To the north of the Neutral Zone lies Torshavn, a dense jungle entrenched nation of barbaric tribes that believe their sheer physical might conquers all, and is the only way to truly protect one's home. With the tribes of Torshavn, those that settled and established cities, and those that still wander the dense jungle, are just as dangerous as the lands they inhabit. Many citizens lead lives of faith in the land and each other. This deep love of the land they call home has led some to begin delving into the tomes holding their nation's history, eager to find how their three goddesses have blessed their land. This newfound intrigue in the past 2 centuries had led to a variety of enterprises of trade merchants of the land, resulting in a bloom of exotic dishes, the expansion of potion brewing, and the drive to reach outward into the world to share the stories of their homeland. To the south of the Neutral Zone lies Advalor, a predominantly elven-led nation of people with a burning faith and unyielding spirit comparable to the breath of their primary deity Azuth, the magic bringer and mother of dragons. It's a long-held belief that the capital of Advalor, Irtirth, was the first city rebuilt on Rudania, having been rapidly constructed along the shores of the Cobalt Cascadia River after the catastrophes of the emergence razed the realm. The citizens of Advalor have taken immense pride in their documented history of advancement, and this can be seen in their people today, with many working themselves to extraordinary levels, resulting in a couple of the cities operating through all hours of the day and night. What's been left unsolved, however, is the charred, lifeless land along Advalor's northern border, known as Azuth's Scar, curiously acquired by the magistrates in the signing of the 25th Peace Treaty. With the dangers of the Rudanian lands ever present and the lingering worry of the unending war reigniting, the threads of fate begin to weave their way through the souls of of a silently chosen few. What stories lie ahead? What battles and confrontations will test their will? Tonight, we begin the long trek to answer these questions and many more as we dive back into the realm of Rudania. So, as we rejoin the realm, we find ourselves moving at a blistering pace, soaring high above the ocean waves in the early light of dawn, following two ravens, one black and one white with a bit of black tuft. As they weave between the clouds and dive closer to the surface of the water, they swoop over a chain of 8 islands surrounded by treacherous currents and broad maelstroms. Moving faster still and further west, they approach a wide river and shoot upward over an island city nestled within the river's mouth, the late night of industry's work, noises still ringing into the sky. Moving northwest, the pair cross the boat-filled river, weaving past airships as they approach a gorgeous city, dotted with the occasional large egg-shaped buildings of metal and glass within and along its reinforced walls. Continuing northwest out of the city, the White Raven caws with laughter as the pair pass a desecrated monument being mended by the guards of a city. As the ravens rapidly accelerate across the scorching desert, they soar high past a lone large mountain as they pass over two cities with markets of stalls of all different colors and goods as the lights within begin to flicker with life. Moving north, the ravens squawk as they're telling their stories to each other, weaving through the mountains and moving northwest along the ridgeline, putting a long-time active volcano to their back, moving past high cliffs to the western shores, and north as they soar over a long-held secret as an elven woman waves to them with a gentle smile from the ruins below. Traveling east from the ruins, they dive deep into the jungles of the northern lands, zipping past hunters that have been up through the night, unable to be touched by even the most skilled of the tribes. Moving deeper into the jungles, they soar alongside packs of displacer beasts, singing as they briefly join the pack. Moving out past the swamp and northeast, large white spires of bone can be seen reaching the canopy of the jungle, the echoing of distant drums beginning to stir the people living among them. As the pair turn sharply south, the jungle gives way to mountains, and as the ravens soar over top, the sun breaks the horizon, bathing a port city in its warm light as it begins to push back the cool morning mist. And as the pair passes over a traveling cart and past the city, they dive deep into the woodlands, disappearing amongst the branches with the faint sound of girlish giggling. And just beneath these trees, unaware of her surroundings, a traveler begins to stir, their longest extinguished fire having burned through its fuel sometime through the night. Let me get you guys open up the map. Come on. Why can't I move? Alright, so are you guys on Trustfell?
I am on the world map.
Yep.
I'm on the world map.
Me too.
Click all. Okay, so they changed their interface.
Yeah, they did recently change their interface. It's really weird.
Yeah,
For sure.
what the heck? There we go.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, the banner change is a little bit more difficult to move. I thought it was something to get used to. Yeah. So, right about here. Mhm. Ruby, if you'll describe what you look like to the party as you begin to stir.
Let me pull up a picture. So we have and I'm struggling. Hang on one second.
Seraph, go ahead and swap to the city ambiance.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Got my picture. You see a lovely woman about mid-20s. She seems to be dressed in some darker leathers and such, trying to blend in a little bit more. But she does have like little spokes of red that complement her name. She has like a fair kind of white, blue tinted skin, blue eyes. She wears a ruby red lipstick, and she has this wonderfully snow-colored hair.
Okay. As you begin to stir, you can hear the familiar chirping of birds. You've been on the road for a couple days. On foot, surprisingly enough, having come from the border wall to the south in the mountains. And as you kind of begin to stir and stretch, go ahead and give me a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh fuck. Already
First
starting me
roll.
out fun, huh?
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
use the ruby red die.
First roll of the stream. Here we go.
First roll of the
Yay!
campaign.
I forgot I have to roll twice.
Yeah.
No
Sounds
pressure.
good.
Yeah, no pressure, Ruby. This is the first roll of the campaign. This one
Okay,
roll.
they're both not shitty. They're both not shitty. The gods don't hate me. Perception, you said, dear.
Mm-hmm.
So lowest number. It's been a while. 17. Originally 14.
17, okay. So yeah, as you begin to stir, you hear the chirping of birds, you kind of begin to stretch, sprawl across the green grass. Blinking owlishly, you can see some of the trees, and you notice one of them is shaking, and you begin to hear the snapping of wood, and you just hear, "Look out!" and you get yanked sideways across the grass as the tree crashes down on top of where you just were, separating you from your traveling pack. You kind of sit up and look around. You see a large human, looks slightly Goliath. He has typically human complexion, but he's got some patches of darker area like stone. He stands about 6'5". Dark brown hair tied back into a warrior's knot. And he kind of lumbers up to you. "Are you okay? What are you?"
Oh, dear me. I'm all right. That just startled me a little bit. I was sleeping, and
What are
she'll
you?
get up and yeah.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, she'll get up and grab her shit.
Okay. So you kind of stand up. The sudden rush of adrenaline kind of waning away from your body. You kind of reach over the tree, grab your pack, throw it over your shoulder. He looks at you. He's like, "What are you doing sleeping in the boundaries of a lumber mill?"
I've never been here before. I did not know it was a lumber mill.
"Well, if you'll come with me."
With pleasure.
Uh,
And she'll tag along.
okay. So he brings you a little northwest, and you eventually come across the path, and you can see this was the path that you had lost in the middle of the night before setting up camp. You look northwest through the trees, you can see dark gray stone walls standing about 15 feet tall, about a mile and a half away from you. A little bit of green ivy is beginning to creep up the bottom of it. But sure enough, closer to you, maybe about 300 feet from where you are, is is a very, very busy lumber mill, already beginning to work in the wee hours of the morning. Uh, and as he leads you up to the lumber mill, he kind of waves over to his boss. "Boss, I found a traveler in the boundaries. I'm just going to escort them into the city. You know I have to cut off early today. Is that okay?" And you see a human woman just give a slight wave and continues northward along the path with you. Uh, "What's your name?" "My name's Mathis."
She'll hold her hand out. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mathis. My name's Ruby, Ruby Briggs. Thank you again. I'm so sorry.
"Not a problem." And he shakes your hand. And given his size, he wraps his whole hand around yours. And
Ooh.
and gently for him, but it kind of shakes up your shoulder socket slightly. Um, very, very brutishly strong man.
Oh,
Uh,
that fixed that crick in the shoulder. Whew.
what So what brings you to Trust Bell?
Just looking into some things, you know. I wanted to see if they had some certain types of different alcohol and stuff, you know.
Like ale
Honestly,
or
yes,
harder?
ale, wine, whiskey, you know, assortment. Looking to
Well,
import some goods back to my home.
uh, well, if you're looking for a tavern to potentially do business with and sample, there's the Gulping Gecko at the north end of Merchant's Lane. I could take you there if you like.
That would be wonderful.
Fantastic. And he leads you north along the path. Uh, continuing on as the trees break, you just see off to your west, northwest, you see brawling farmland. Just east over, just cresting over the top, you can see uh, some waves crashing against some of the docks. And as you guys begin to approach the portcullis into the city, he just kind of gives a wave. Don't mind me. And you can see members of some kind of a garrison force, predominantly polished steel and iron armor. You can see some of them are wearing darker green, but they all have a distinct, vibrant green cloak, either strewn over their back or down their left shoulder.
Can you, DM darling, can you sparkle me the name of this Goliath again?
Mathis.
Okay. Sorry, it takes me a minute to write.
No ways.
I'll fix that later. Math.
M-A.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
math. Math is.
Math
That
is
is.
annoying.
Math is difficult for Mathis.
So is that
I
one
agree with
T?
Mathis.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
what was that?
So is that one T?
One
Yes.
T, yeah. Yep, I put it in the chat.
Can I take a moment to kind of like commit to memory the uniforms and everything of the garrison?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check. You would have heard stories on your approach to it. See if we can recall the name for you.
Intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 9.
9.
9.
9.
9.
Uh,
That name's already taken, guys.
yeah, sadly.
Unfortunately.
While you don't remember the full name, you do remember they are known as the Blank Legion. Unfortunately, don't quite remember the full name. But what's how they have it affixed, you can see a brass badge as you pass through the portcullis, and one of the guards kind of looks over the both of you. What looks to be a large oak tree strewn, etched into the badge. And it looks teeming with life. And that's when it hits you that this group is known as the Teeming Legion.
Team Legion. Okay.
Yep.
Is that
And I will.
is that the soldiers for the area, or like?
Yes.
Yes, that is the soldier. That is the standing military of Trustfell and the Neutral Zone.
So it's Trustfell's standing military.
Mm-hmm. Teeming Legion. Yep, and and their influence can be felt across the other 3 towns.
She'll kind of glance upward. Do I need to check in with them at all? And she'll look back to Mathis.
Oh, not at all, sweetie. And he kind of gives like a playful bump to one of the soldiers as he walks by. They're familiar with me, and
Oh, so you're my ticket in.
I'd like to be of help when I can.
Well, if you call me sweetie again, I'll make you take me to dinner. I'm joking.
I don't think I could afford you, sweetie.
Oh, I'm sure.
Damn, this boy got some riz, yo.
Yes, he does, and I'm into it.
Oh boy.
Uh,
That's
but
gonna
go
be-
ahead and give me a quick perception check
Okay. Don't fuck
before
you
we
fucked me,
head
Gil.
elsewhere.
Oh, this is horrible. I was doing so well. Not.
What was that?
9 again?
Yes, 9 again. I rolled a 6 and I have
Ooh.
a +3 to perception. I'm crying right now.
Okay,
Alright.
Too
so
distracted
All
by
right,
giant
critters,
roots.
you know what this means. Let's hit him with
Look,
a
I'm distracted.
9.
I'm distracted by this big, handsome, rough-looking Goliath man.
yeah, he's a handsome fella. Uh,
Oh,
so as he brings you along this road,
okay,
and then up this way,
okay.
you can see a small smattering of shops here and there. Nothing really particularly catches your eye, but there is a wide variety. And continuing up north, you bank this left, and you can see uh, right at the very top of this intersection here.
Yeah.
You can see a tavern with a large wooden sign, and depicted on the sign as it hangs off of the post is a tankard with a gecko sticking its head up out of the top of it, looking very drunk. Maybe not dinner, but I haven't had breakfast myself, and you clearly just woke up. Would you want to stop for breakfast? I'm just down here. And he points
Oh,
to
I
a
would
little
love to
south.
have breakfast with you, my love.
Uh, hold on. Where's my phone? Dice roller, because I left my dice at Seraph's.
Yeah, I still got him packed away.
Yeah, not a big deal. Okay. Well, 13 on the composure. You can see just a slight bit more red kind of appear on his shoulders and cheeks. Being out in the sun, he's already begun to tan slightly, even with the early time of spring. Come with me, I can fix you something.
All right, will do.
Something about
Okay.
strong laborers, man.
No, right? Blue collar. Holy shit.
But as he brings you a little ways, just one house down, and just off to the west side of the road, he begins making you a quick breakfast. Fairly modest and minimalist. Nothing, no rugs, no paintings. There's rickety but sturdy enough furniture, especially for someone of his size.
Is this for his house?
This is his house, yes.
Ooh, okay.
But as you begin to have breakfast with Mathis, the half Goliath, we are going to jump over to the north side of Trustfell as a very eerie black cart with silver trim and dark wood of mahogany and redwood is pulled south along the road by two large matching axe beaks, ostrich-like birds with a large bill that becomes the shape of a hatchet near the end. There are two people on this cart, Stara and Valediction. Please describe yourselves to the party, please.
I'll let you go first.
Tide.
I thought you said somebody else. You
Nope.
want me to go first?
Yeah, Sarah and Valediction, you're up.
Oh, I was listening for Tida. That was my bad.
How
All
could
right, you say you want me to describe me first?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Well, Sarah is a actually relatively short girl, standing at about 5.5 feet. She has unusual hair. It's very long, very flowing, and a dark green color. In fact, it is very similar to the grass that's around them. She has very pale skin, and she is wearing a set of fur and leather armor. There is not a drop of metal on her.
Okay.
And riding along with Sarah is an anthropomorphic raven with their feathers are very well preened, but they're hiding underneath an otherwise ordinary, if not well worn, black cloak. It's clasped together with silver and opal, very minimal. Their eyes are very large and intelligent as they are very curiously looking around. Um, it's just everything about them is curious. They're turning and looking at everything every time Sarah speaks or makes even the remote gesture of "ooh, look at that." Vale turns their head. But and they at their waist they have a shovel and a rapier, and to the other underneath their cloak is something boxy. They're smaller than Sarah. They're about 4 foot, maybe 4 foot one. They're generally happy, albeit awkward. Yeah, and yeah, that's Valdiction.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Sarah's probably babbling on next to him.
Oh yeah, and Valediction's just listening, and every time Sarah would repeat something, they kind of like turn their head and warble, as in to get them to continue speaking.
Oh, and she does.
All right. So as you two have been traveling together for a few weeks now, um, having just passed the border crossing into Torshavn, or out of Torshavn rather, about a week-ish now, week and a half. You've stopped here and there just at one or two villages along the road. Uh, both of you go ahead and give me perception checks.
Let's see. I actually have this set up to make it all kinds of easy.
Yeah, 21.
Let's see.
You said perception, right?
Yeah.
Perception, yes.
Okay, yeah, 21 then.
21.
Nope. It didn't come through. Nope, there it is. I got a 9.
And a 9. Okay.
I was
Well,
too busy
Nine.
babbling.
man, we're just our dice are showing our fandom apparently. Uh, um,
No.
uh, with that combined perception check, it's art as you're approaching the slight row of houses just on the outside of the northern wall. um, Sarah, while you're not particularly getting too many eyes directly at you, Valediction is actually getting some extra noticeable look if it's not your carriage as a whole. With the slight lingering scent of embalming fluid that tends to steadily creep outward, the overall aesthetic. You can see as you move south, closer to the wall, that there are a couple members of the Torshavn military present. You both would know that with the 25th Peace Treaty, they have a temporary occupancy to help the neutral zone rebuild. Very much kind of a mix of both your armors. There's dark leathers, hides, bits of bone kind of acting as middle pauldrons, lightly conversing with some members of the Teeming Legion. Just idle chit chat. And a rather handsome wood elf approaches your car as you guys
Ooh.
approach the portcullis. Uh, Well, welcome to Tressville. What sort of, in while there is a slight acknowledgement, uh, him being Wood Elf, primarily on the western side of Torshavn, where they tend to reside, he kind of looks like, well, are you here to sell wares or visit the morgue? What's your purpose here?
Hey, Stud Muffin. I actually forgot exactly why we're here. Bird Buddy, do you remember?
They kind of, Veliction kind of like sets up a little bit, pushes aside some of the dangling trinkets that are hanging over their face, and they just kind of copy the words. We just said morgue, or which one was it? They copy
The morgue, or if you're looking to sell wares.
oh yeah, wares. So they just kind of like repeat like a parrot. Sell wares, sell wares.
All right, that's what we were doing.
Fantastic. Well, I certainly wouldn't want to get in the way, especially with I know what you specialize in yourself. Perhaps you would
What does
like
that mean?
include, and I know a follower of the Silent Matriarch when I see one. If not follower, then one that knows of their teachings.
Oh, I thought you were insinuating something else. Never mind, as you were.
And there's a slight blank stare as you both begin to just meander past.
As we rolled by.
As you all roll by, as the two of you roll by, he's like, "Oh, before I forget, I can actually take you to the market lane. Just on the west gates are the stables. We can get you guys set up, and then I can bring your axe beaks back over to the stables for care. Is that okay?"
That sounds good to me. You can come along, and I can continue the story about how I got this guy from a bet. Does that sound good to you, Bird Buddy?
Bird Buddy.
Sounds good, Bird Buddy.
That's what she started calling him. She started being like, I already forgot your name, Bird Buddy.
I love them already. I'm gonna start crying from joy.
At the moment Sarah starts talking about where she got her most recent whatever, you can see Vale just kind of taking notes in a little notebook.
Okay. As you sit back down, he walks with you through the northern gates. Oh God, excuse me. That Bird Buddy. Oh God, I love it.
Bird Buddy.
BB for short.
BB, yes. You head southwest along that road, and you can see now there's a wider range of different humanoids than you were expecting, especially with how secluded both of you all, yeah, the two of you were in the northern reaches of Rodanian, of Torshavn, being confined mostly to your cities. You see tiefling, occasional dragonborn, a couple dwarves, elves, fair amount of humans, gnomes. And as you continue your way south and take a right here, you see a tavern on the right at the northern portion of intersection. Valediction, go ahead and give me an investigation check, see if you can figure out a good spot to park.
Okay. Investigation. That's not my. Oh, I'm actually good at that. Sort of. 18.
18, okay. It's getting probably closer to about 9 o'clock now as you guys make your way into the market lane. And you can see just off to your left, a couple houses down, is a small grass alleyway that leads into a park with a little bit of room. You can get it tucked up against the wall, open out the side of your cart to sell, and people would still have enough room to maneuver past. And as you maneuver into position, the axe be kind of back up and right as they come off the street. And as the two of you hop off and help this wood elf rein in your two axe beaks. When you're all set, just head out the western gates. You could have seen them from the Gulping Gecko. Speak with Jebediah. He'll be taking care of them.
Bad news. Surprise inspection. I need to check it. I need to check his stables.
Okay.
We don't have to do that right now.
No. By all means, yeah. Come with me.
Okay. Yeah. Surprise. I gotta check his stables.
Validation. As you watch Sarah go off with the wood elf, you begin setting up, and there's already a stout gnomish man, roughly the equivalent age, about 20, 25, eyeing some of your wares. I'm sorry, do you have any kind of here checks the bit of bone that used to be a rat that you've now converted into a wind chime? He kind of eyes it like, that's actually a fairly interesting piece. Do you have anything like that?
Valdiction just kind of waves to all their pretty little trinkets, and says, "No sale, no sale," and then proceeds to like show every other item that they have for sale. Everything that you would find for like funeral services and burial services, and even pats their shovel at their side.
Okay. Well, I was actually, if you had any just unblessed bandages, perhaps. And he kind of steps forward, and you begin to go through his wares. Go ahead and add 5 silver to your pouch, because he'll buy a couple of bandages off of you.
Okay.
Sarah,
Yes.
you head back north and then west through the western gates. You can see a set of stables just on the north side of the path. a stout elderly man tending to a few different horses. Like, hey! And he grabs one of the reins of the horses and begins to comment. Don't worry. Your companion will be here shortly. He's just gently petting the horse. I know you're eager, but give an old man a break.
I approach and I'm like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
And he ties off the reins to the lead off to the fence line.
I approach the old man. I introduce myself. I'm like, hey, it's good to see you there. Looks like you got a nice place going. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sarah. I have to pop a surprise inspection on you. Make sure you're treating your animals well. Do you mind?
Oh, not at all. By all means. And he'll lead you just past his house, with the field on the left, which is where he had the horse calmed down. The fairly decent-sized field with a larger barn in the back. He leads you through the fence line, and just as you pass through the grass, you get the slight lingering sensation of magic permeating from the ground. So he might be some kind of a druid, if not a very successful one because of his age, but enough to keep his land well cared for. And he swings open the barn door, whereas the elf brings the axe beaks in. But by all means, go right ahead. And he kind of bows a little bit more than his typical hunch that he had on the approach.
I'm assuming that as I've looked around, everything looks good so far. Maybe even great.
Go ahead and give me an investigation.
All right, let's have a look. Oh, wonderful. I'm sure this roll will be super high.
I swear to God, if it's a 9, it's oh my God.
So as we were going along, Sarah was he was walking, talking, and a tune got stuck in Sarah's head. And she's like, she's just kind of humming and bopping on. She's like, "Damn, how do you get a song out of your head?" And then we arrive, and she's like, "What? Right, inspection. Shit, I was not paying attention."
You hit your head against a low-hanging, a lower portion of the door as it's a bit of an arch. Go ahead and roll a d.
How short is this door?
Well, he's a pretty stout dude. Well, you did find the one flaw in his barn with your head, is a plank that he's been meaning to affix back into the proper location. Kind of swung down as the door opened.
I found my first. Sir, I found my first offense. You have not stupid-proofed your barn. Please fix that at your earliest convenience. I'm not going to ding you for it today. I'm feeling generous and embarrassed. Moving on.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d4 and deduct that from your hit points, please.
Jesus Christ, how hard did I hit my head?
You rolled a nat 1 for a total of 0. I gotta do some damage to you.
All right. I'm going to say she was head-banging rather vigorously. Hold on. She was like, "Oh yeah, this jam is hot, clunk." Okay, maybe not as hot as that. Well, that's a 4. Man, we are off to a good start today.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's you clocked yourself pretty good there. That's a goose egg.
Yep.
That's a crack board.
In a quick attempt to get away from what the fuck she might have even broken that board at this point. She'd be like, "So, from what I can tell, yeah, everything looks great. What's your background? You seem to be handling these animals better than most."
Well, my family's been tending to these lands for the last 150 years. Both
Hot
my
damn.
father and grandfather went off to fight in the war. And now it's my turn, and hopefully one day my son's turn. But he's serves in the Legion.
Yeah. Sorry to hear about your folks there. War's never good for anybody. And I'm sure your son will be fine. I mean, you seem like good stout people from what I can see. Anyways, let me just check these animals, and if they're all good and happy, I'll get right out of here. Also, I'm gonna surrender a little bit of silver to him to pay for what I just broke.
All right, go.
I had to find out how much I got here, but I think it's like 10 gold.
Less than that, I think.
I have it listed as 10 gold, but you can tell me what I have here.
Yeah, we'll go with 10 gold. So knock it down to 9 and have 8 silver. So you'll have paid 2 gold.
Okay.
I just want to put this on the actual like VOD itself because it's difficult to see chat. Sully says, "Sounds like she busted her head open, like wide open. Should probably get that checked for concussion." To which I replied,
"I might have a concussion at this point, but she's so dumb she's not going to realize it. It's okay."
To which I replied,
in ignorance.
To which I replied, "Nah, Sarah's head is too hard. She has an intelligence of 8. She knows what she's doing."
That is correct.
100%.
Which is why she's able to withstand that and keep going. No brain cells were lost.
100%.
All right,
Head
so
empty, love for animals full.
Handle animals?
Yep, go ahead and give me an animal handling.
Oh, thank God, a roll I can actually do. Hold on.
Do yourself a favor. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to send you a link to a dice roller that's actually fair.
I mean,
if you want to
use bad.
If you want to use that, that's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and drop a link for a dice roller to use.
We'll say I have advantage on this one. Just take the higher of the two. That clonk did me some good. It made me pay attention.
Oh, for sure.
All right, I'm waiting for that link. All right.
There you go.
D&D dice roller.
Feel free to take your time in rolling that. I'm going to go ahead and roll a pre-roll again.
All right. So
I
1d20
cannot do that.
plus 2.
We got an ad
I got the
coming in.
same exact number. It's a 15.
Jeez. Okay.
Just meant to be.
Alrighty. But yeah, you can clearly tell, even through your slightly dazed state from hitting your head, that these animals are very well cared for. They're living like royalty to an extent.
Okay.
You can tell that even a couple of the horses even actually have their own individual barding, so they might actually be horses of the Legion.
Okay.
But they are all well fed, well groomed. You can see one of his farm hand is actually in the back, gently brushing out one of the horse's hair. But they are very, very well cared for, and you can see as the elf takes the last stall on the left for the two axe beaks. They kind of circle around in the stall a little bit. As he's locking it, you just hear "Thunk," as one of the axe beaks pecks him on the forehead.
I give him a thumbs up, like I feel your pain.
But with that, we'll say that you head back south to the path and east to meet up with Valediction,
Yep.
closing in on 9:30-ish, 10. Give me one moment. Why? But while we're doing that, we will jump over to the east side on the eastern ward, to the docks, where a beautiful young woman can be seen crossing the upper deck and down the gangplank of a ship that had just arrived. Myrrh, if you want to describe how you look, please.
Yes. Well, she looks like your standard elf. She has blue eyes, blonde hair, and is quite long. She's currently wearing what looks like a worn-in set of noble clothes, and she has a top hat that she is currently uh kind of spinning with while she walks. She's kind of like taking it off whimsically and then like flipping it and then putting it back on her head somewhat as she walks off the boat. On on her side she has a hurdy-gurdy, and on her back she's carrying a crossbow.
Okay. You have had just spent the last probably 3 weeks to a month on that ship. So you are good and truly tired of your sea legs and are very glad to be back on land. But as you head down the steps, just off to your right, and make your way into the city on the south side, about here. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Not bad. Okay. 19. All right. As is with many docks, especially within the neutral zone and the northern portions of Rudania along the shore, it's a very mixed usage dock. You can see, one or two flagships on the north side. On this side, where you got let off from the merchant that brought you in from the eastern lands, it also doubles as a fishery. So you get that slight stinging sensation of fish oil as you make your way west. and with that perception check, at the very last moment, you actually kind of sidestep, and there's a large leonin standing about 6'2", 6'3", almond brown fur. He looks a little on the tired side. But he looks to you, he's like, "Oh, sorry about that. I'm actually just finishing up fishing for the night. You seem new to the area. Do you need any help?"
Why, yes, I just got off the ship, and I'm sort of looking for somewhere I can set up and get a drink.
Oh, well, I mean, if you want, you can come with me to where I usually get my drinks before calling it a day.
She paused, looking about, and it doesn't happen to smell like the docks, does it?
No, this is actually a very much more well kept. Luckily, the winds bring the scent northward towards the ships along the shore.
Then lead on.
Okay. So as he brings you west, let me go back to the measuring tool. Yeah, he brings you west and then north a little bit, and then through the southern gates of the eastern ward, and then northward towards Merchant Lane. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Crunchy.
Wow, very nice.
Oh,
22.
The curse of the nines.
Oh yeah.
the curse of the nice.
uh, the Leonin starts bringing you northwest, and you can see that he has a rather odd backpack that he had thrown over his shoulder. It's a vibrant, somewhat polished bronze with what looks to be some kind of a lid towards the top. He kind of throws it back in front of him, reaches in, and he actually pulls out a couple coins, and you can see a young kid run up to him. He's like, Ulrich, I passed. It's like, fantastic. And he hands the coins over to the kid. You make sure you get that back to your mother, okay? And the kid nods excitedly, runs back northward. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. Do you know that kid by chance?
Yeah, that's actually Sebastian. I've been friends with his mother for a couple of years now. They were going through a little bit of a tough time, so I gave them some of my paycheck when I could.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just love seeing good faith in people. If I wasn't done just getting off the ship and gathering myself, I would try to look for somewhere that I can be helpful to the town. But right now, I'm really looking for a drink.
I completely understand. I can't swim, but I somehow found a job as a fisherman. Don't ask. And he kind of scratches at his bare-chested fur. You can see that there's nails. There's a distinct spot on his tank top where it's a bit worn from the repetitive scratching. He seems to have some kind of a habit of it. What's your name? Where are you coming in from, if you don't mind me asking?
My name is Mur.
Murder.
I'd rather not mention my surname, but when it comes to where I come from, I just came from a college, actually. Just
Oh,
finished up studying, I guess, music, you could say.
well, you'll certainly find some work over at the Gulping Gecko. They haven't had the best run of luck when it comes to bardic performances lately.
I would love to change that.
By all means, come with me. I'd love to hear some of the music from your lands.
Sure, but
Uh,
I notice you're scratching your chest. Is that more of a nervous thing, or do you need someone to take a look at that?
yeah, it's mostly just nerves. Being on the ship all day and then being in the company of such a lovely woman, I'm looking forward to my drink.
It's all good. I'm just making sure you don't have a rash or something I might be able to help you with.
I mean, I'm personally no medicine man myself. I mean, if you're willing, I certainly won't turn down a free checkup.
Sure. She would get up really close to him, kind of like in his personal space, as she
Hmm.
pushes back her top hat, so it's like halfway, almost falling off, as
Hmm.
she investigates his chest or like medicine checks, I guess.
Yep, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Ooh.
Not bad. Okay. With that check, no, you don't particularly pick up too much more outside of it. It's just his habit. Um, aside from the shape of his fur being more windblown backwards, um, uh, nothing out of the ordinary. Maybe he's got a little bit of a wind rash from just dry skin and being on the seas. But aside from that, perfectly healthy linen.
I would uh massage some lotion in that area if I were you. It's looking kind of irritated, but other than that, you look fine.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, I'll be sure to pick up some medicine. Luckily, there's actually a medicine shop not too far from the Gulping Gecko, so I can pick that up on my way home.
That is good to know.
Come with me, and he'll lead you northwest. Um, and he begins to talk about this is Market Lane. There's a bit of an outcropping that tucks a little bit back south. Um, my house and the medicine shop are just a couple blocks up that way. Uh, but as you make the left, you see the sign of the Gulping Gecko, drunk gecko chilling in a large tankard. And as you make your way inside with him, he quickly approaches the bar while I go and get my notes for this place. Uh, um, you can, as you enter, you can see it's a fairly modest tavern. You can see there is actually a second floor with that can maybe accompany 10 or so travelers. Just to your left is a simmering fireplace with a door on either end. You can gather those are the bathrooms. To the right is a large log that's been cut in half and sanded lengthwise to serve as the bars. Very pristine, sanded down, polished, but no lacquer. Um, on the back wall of the right side, there's two thinner tree trunks with shelves going across it. A fairly modest assortment, nothing too pricey. Uh, you can just distinctly make out some kind of arcane humming coming from the room just beyond it, the access door to the left of the bar from your position. Uh, there's maybe one or two patrons. Uh, early morning, there's one elderly man that looks like he's just there to get away from his wife. But standing behind the bar uh, is a roughly middle-aged lizard folk with some kind of hints of amphibian ancestry, as he has a large frog-like vocal sack adorning his neck.
Ooh.
That uh, that rolls over the top of a simple blue tunic, tan slacks, no boots, as you can hear his nails scratching along the woodwork slightly. And you watch this Leonin approach the bar. Thorlo, I got a performance. Yeah, I got a performer for you, fresh off the docks. And he gestures over to you, and the the bartender smiles and nods. Well, what type of music do you play?
I play all sorts of assortments, but I personally have a favorite to play in ends. I would love to give you I'd love to give you a performance right now. Although I'm surprised that you don't have uh great music, seeing that I bet you could hit all sorts of notes with that sack
Well,
thing.
I am a bit bassy, but not. How do I put this? Some of the individuals that come through my tavern from the south aren't particularly fond of deeper vocals. They prefer the higher pitch, and he does a very blatant mock of like an operatic singer.
She she giggles some and she looks at the other two patrons and you know what? Um if you would like me, I would love to perform, but also uh how about since it's a slow start today, that drinks are on me for anyone that wants it.
You hear a couple of the patrons like, Thorlo, you gotta keep her. We like her already. And one guy's like, yeah, and then stumbles out of his seat onto the floor. Uh, go ahead and give me a performance check.
All right.
We'll see if you're able to rustle up a little bit of coin as you make yourself comfortable. Wow.
Do you want to know what
Good
song she's
lord.
playing?
Go ahead and send me the link.
I will
I
send you the
love
link.
bards.
Good lord, woman. She hit a line of coke before she got off that fucking boat, I swear.
She might. She has so much pep on her step and not sick.
Oh yeah.
This.
Ooh. Hold on to that one. We'll bring it back a little later. I like that.
Okay, do.
Okay, okay.
But as you make yourself comfortable and begin to perform, you get the drunken tears of a couple overnight drinkers and the a little bit more enthusiastic morning patrons. With that, we are going to hop over. One second. Starting coughing fits. We are going.
Was that what you were performing?
Yeah. Close enough. We are going to head over to a building known as the Helm at the very southern end of the Southwest District as a fairly grumpy, almost apathetic red scale dragonborn begins to move about her room. Liz, if you want to describe yourself to the party, please.
Well, most likely the first thing you see about Liz is her wings. She's got large red wings with yellow webbing. She's a large red dragonborn with yellow horns, and that's like basically the biggest thing about her is she's huge and she's red. And she's wearing a greenish cloak that kind of covers her whole being. It's a three-piece cloak, and it looks like it actually is made so that it goes around her wings better and is easier to take on and put off. There is she would she have her like would she be like ready to go out at this time, or would she still have left a lot of her stuff in her room?
I would say at this time, probably 8 o'clock, you tend to kind of keep to yourself, so you're already freshened up. It would just be a matter of gathering your things from the room, especially the bit of artifice equipment sitting on the cabinet.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if she doesn't have her stuff, she doesn't have like her mace or anything with her. She
Okay.
is she is not wearing any armor either.
Yep. Simplistic duster, roughly duster length, you would say, jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes
Okay.
it might even be technically longer than a duster. It goes down pretty far. It's more of a in between of a cloak and a trench coat than anything.
Gotcha. Okay. So as you as you kind of move about the room, you gather a few of the different letters that you've gotten as you've been spending your time here, all from the same man, uh, wishing you well and hoping you're prospering. Kind of thumb through them and, and stuff them into your knapsack. Down at the bottom is a familiar, slightly dented bit of green painted metal that you haven't worn in a while. As you kind of look down and kind of stuff the letters on top of it, you move over to the dresser, get your commoner clothes, fold them up and throw them in, and then on top to help keep the folds. You grab the small jukebox shaped, about the size, about big enough to hold in both your hands, radio from your lands. You can see the antenna in the back, as you the slight crystal on top isn't glowing, at least with this coloration station that you haven't adjusted for. And you can see the 3 dials and then the power switch. One of the dials labeled R, one labeled G, and one labeled B.
Ah, sorry.
You kind of shift through them. You don't see too much going on in terms of activity. You just kind of, all right. You've become accustomed for listening to certain songs, but none of them are playing. And as you stuff the radio on the top of your knapsack, you hear a dense knock on the door. Hey, Red, and a envelope slides underneath your door.
Thank you. And she'll pick it up.
Okay. You recognized, if we can get it out, the voice of Rucker Flaskbuster, the dwarven man that runs the helm and the chapter of steel for Trustfell.
What a name for a dwarf, dude. Flask
That is
Buster?
a hell of a
Fuck
name.
yeah.
Yeah, that name eats ass.
But
I knew they
go
were going to
ahead.
receive that name well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Good job, Dave.
You you walk over, grab the envelope, and undo the twist top, break the seal, of wax, and you pull out a few pages of documents. The top one being another letter. And it says, Crimson, I hope this finds you well. I've specifically asked Rucker to hand this job to you directly. I can't get into too many details. You'll know how to get more. And at the bottom is the initials GW with the depiction of a single golden scale in the background. Go ahead and give me an investigation check as you go through the rest of the documents.
Okay. Do I have good investigation? The answer is probably not. Hang on.
Gold, 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 gold.
Okay, I have a +1, so at least I have a
Woo!
plus.
Gold.
Ah. Oh my god, that's a natural 20.
Holy
Hey!
One.
For 21.
First 20.
Nice.
Woo!
Let's go.
All
I got
right.
the first nat one.
All
Somebody
I'm gonna
give her a
say
title.
is,
You got the gambit now.
all I'm gonna say is, shout out to these wonderful metal dice.
Ooh, metal dice.
We're not fishing
Yes.
for sponsors at all, we swear.
Hey, I didn't say who
However-
they were,
Oh, I know.
and I might go order more of their dice. Anyway.
But as you, continuing on, as you kind of thumb through the pages, you can get this sensation just with your investigation check, just from the sensation of the parchment on your fingers. That if you were to decide to, there is a way to reveal more of the information.
Is it the way that I know of?
Yes.
Okay.
The front page, in the upper left corner, has a picture of a very pissed off young teenage girl, roughly 15, in the picture. And its name at the top is the name Victoria DeWitt, alias 6. Immigration status, immigrant from Zadalith. Date of birth undetermined. And then it gets into the rap sheet. Grand larceny, property damage, multiple assault and battery charges, murder in a few different degrees. And what's odd is the list begins to repeat with more assault and battery, and they're dated 850, 851. She was incarcerated at the end of 849. So she was adding it to her rap sheet while locked up, and roughly at the end of 851 it just stops, so you gather she was thrown into solitary. Known associates, Daisy Dizzy DeWitt, Dizzy being an alias, deceased. Tyson Hendricks, deceased. Ozen Merrick, deceased. And there's a couple other named, each one of which is deceased. And as you flip through some of the other pages, you can see that included in this envelope are the rap sheets of everyone except Daisy.
Huh. Well, I'll set
Can
my stuff down and put one of the papers on the. Is there anything else that's in the, or is it just these rap sheets?
It's just these rap sheets, and at the very base of that first page, it just says, she's due to be in town. Be at the western gates by noon. She's in your
I'll
care
head.
now.
I'll head downstairs and grab like a bites to eat to go.
Mhm.
And I'll start kind of making sure I've got all my stuff with me, and I'll head to the western gate just to make sure, because I never know if they're gonna arrive early or not.
Okay. You head out the. You head down the hall and into the main foyer. You can already see some of the more intrigued newbies of the chapter curiously looking at you. There's a couple that just kind of like turn away, don't even pay attention. You grab a bite to eat. Big wad of bread and the meat, each individually wrapped and then wrapped into a bigger pack.
I guess I should tell everybody Liz is about 6'8".
Yeah, she
Okay.
With
very
Holy
tall,
moly. That is a
very
tall.
tall.
That is a tall
Like-
drink of water. Holy
and
shit.
and her wings are a little bit taller, but we don't count those in her actual height. But she's huge. She's also rather wide as well. Like she's not. This is no frail dragonborn.
I hope we never have to go underground in like a small crevasse.
Yeah, that would suck.
Hey, in a
Just gonna
game
have to,
called
like,
Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey.
crawl her way through.
But as you uh, make your way out the front steps into the main intersection, you kind of look back. The the familiar shaped building, predominantly named the Helm because it is shaped like a helmet with a
Yeah.
domed top and elf-like ear extensions out on either end to allow for a couple extra rooms. And as you head northwest, kind of pondering, the curiosity why this job was sent to you, especially by the man who sent it. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
My dice love me today. Hang on.
I'm scared.
Is
What's
it
wrong
another
with this
nat
one?
20?
It is not another nat 20, but it's close. It's a 19 on the die
Nice.
with +4, so 23.
23. Okay. Very easily enough. You've kind of been at a heightened sense after coming into the city about a year ago. And you can immediately pick up on the fact that you're being watched. You kind of look and you can see a young dragonborn girl, wingless, dark blue scales, kind of peeking up over the top of a box. And just next to her, about the equivalent same age, is a light gray tiefling boy. Both of their tails are just kind of like swishing curiously as they're eyeing you. It's like, see, I told you she had wings.
Liz will kind of Liz will like wink at the dragonborn and the tiefling and kind of give a little laugh.
And the two of them kind of run out. It's like, are you really part of the chapter? As they kind of both approach you and like eyes up. They're barely to your waist, so maybe the equivalent age of 6 each.
Oh, you're hurting me, John. You're hurting me. Liz will kind of I just kind of work here for now. I'm just staying here.
Well, are you going to be leaving? I mean, we.
That depends on if I need to.
um,
But yeah,
Well,
don't worry. She kind of like ruffles both of their head, like the hairs on their heads.
yeah,
Well,
and
the hair on the tiefling's head and the scales.
as you pat the pair of them, you would recognize these two kids as Saris and Keldra. They tend to eye you from time to time, just kind of looking curiously. You can every now and then you would see them sword fighting in the back alley or at the park. But good luck today. I hope it's not like that goblin camp. That other guy got pretty roughed up.
Yeah, not looking forward to any goblin camps. No, I'm just headed to the gate. I'll be there for a bit. If you need anything, stop by. I'll be there until a little after noon.
Okay. And the two of them run south and then east towards the docks.
She watches them until they're out of view and then continues.
Okay. Continuing northwest, you take a left towards the western gate, and you walk past the Gulping Gecko. You can see an odd cart just down the southern road. A couple people now looking into some of their wares. And as you begin to approach the western gate, you can see just in the distance, beyond the farmlands, is a cart slowly being drawn closer. But before we get to that, we're going to hop over to the library. But we are going to take a quick break because I need to use the restroom.
Me too.
All right.
Quick time, get your snacks.
Yeah,
use the
grab your
bathroom.
snacks, use the restroom, grab a drink. Don't forget to hydrate, stretch,
Chocolate.
move your bodies
Why am I
around, get some
snacking
blood
all the snacks in
flowing.
here?
Yeah.
So what is with all these tall folks melting all of our hearts?
Right, yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm kind of
I'd
short.
like to mention that I'm really short.
Wait, how tall are you?
4 foot.
Okay,
Look,
yeah,
it's not
you're
my
short.
fault John put a Goliath in front of me, all right?
Look, all I have to say is Liz's height has been planned for a long, long time.
Another winged dragonborn. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm 5'9". I forget about that.
I'm 5'9" too.
I'm shorter than that, 5.5.
Oh,
Oh no.
I'll have to check my character's height once I'm done.
oh wait, hang on. Let me see how tall Ruby is actually, because I'm 5'9" IRL. Roll 20. Hey, Angel, how are you feeling so far?
Oh, I'm having a great time. Yeah, like I'm actually having a really good time. Like just hearing everybody tell their story and just keeping an eye on chat, and yeah, I'm having a great time. And it's getting pretty close to the, to my introduction. We're gonna do Will here though.
Well, and then I think Iris has to go next, or Iris still has to go, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And then you. So there's 3 left. Ruby is 5 foot tall.
I do remember specifically asking the DMs, like, please introduce me last.
Oh, so you are the tail end. And if Will's
Yeah.
next, then it might be Iris.
It all depends on what our DM has planned. I mean, it's his story, but I do remember asking. It's like I'd like to go last. I'm like
I would like to go last, please.
I'm probably the least wholesome of the bunch, so I want to pad the intro with enough wholesome and warm and just good people before we get to me.
Before it gets ruined.
I think my performance was good just because I bribed everyone with beer.
Oh no, you're doing absolutely fine, Chloe.
I'm sorry, you rolled a 26. Or no, yeah, you rolled a 26.
No, I know. I bribed them with beer so the dice were nice to me.
No. You said the beer thing after you rolled. You rolled a 26.
Oh, V. Those
I
are
had
rookie
this
numbers.
Planned it now. This is because in the
Bard's
Strahd
scary.
campaign that I was doing, I was getting horrible rolls, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, all that bad karma's turning into good.
And
Yeah.
need to remind you, V, like at high level, Chloe's gonna be rolling like 52 performance
You
checks.
don't have to remind me, miss. I played a bard that nearly destroyed the world.
And I played a bard that saved it.
Jack of all trades.
Oh, I was talking
Let's
about
go.
you.
Okay, I'm back, guys.
Welcome back. Will.
Welcome back, Will.
Thank you.
Right, Sully? Yeah. 26? That's cute. Remembers Lena's 55 performance.
Okay, I remember writing it down how tall Will was. Let me just check. Oh yeah, he is 5'11".
Just bear in mind that 55 didn't come until like the end of the game. So like that was at like 20th level.
Did I tell you guys how I exactly decided to do my description of Will?
No.
No, but don't tell us right now. Tell us when you actually get to it.
Keep it in your pocket for a moment. Just a moment.
Okay.
Keep it in your titty pocket. Keep
Yeah,
it close.
we are getting close to your intro, so don't you worry about that. None. It's coming out real soon.
Okay.
I'm loving all the characters so far. Or I'm sure I'll love all of them anyway, but
I'm excited. I'm
Kind
excited.
of the NPCs are taking the NPCs are taking the center stage here with all the heart melting.
Hey, look.
Once again, I am just going to say this like out of character. I apologize ahead of time.
Oh, I've
And I
been fully
apologize for the
prepared.
person Liz is going to be with 6.
I've been fully prepared for you two. I'm ready for that angst.
Me too.
I'm all about that angst.
All about that angst, no drama.
No closure.
No clue.
Dang.
Ow. Please don't make me choke on the chocolate bar that I tried to eat to make me feel better.
Oh, I can make you choke on other things.
I have a husband for that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you do.
I need some
Still.
attention in that department.
I just want cuddles.
Cuddles are so good.
See, I would say I have a husband for that as well, but sometimes he literally is like, get off me.
And yeah, sometimes you just and sometimes it's just too hot for cuddles, and like, yeah, you want to still be intimate, but at the same time, it is too damn hot for that shit.
Oh no, we keep our apartment at like 69 degrees. Yes, haha, funny.
Nice.
that's too warm. What are you talking
You
about?
know me too well.
Okay, if
That's
I tried to keep it
cold,
any
what?
colder, I think I would be paying through the nose for my power.
Yeah, Sully, it is absolutely yours and Chuko's fault that my character went from bad to worse, and I am so here for it.
It is currently, how hot is it
Staring at
outside?
you.
So it's 9:30 for me, 9:40, right? And the actual temp is 80 degrees, but it feels like 89.
It is currently 65 outside for me.
I
With,
will have to get back to you on what the temperature is here, but it's probably around like 50 something. Actually,
We're
hang
ready
on.
where you are.
Yeah, it's
So
about
tired of this heat, man.
it's about 67 degrees.
Thank you all. Kindly fuck off.
Kindly fuck off.
Any
All right, I
Yes,
think we have everyone here now.
Oh, it is 94 today where I'm at.
Yikes. All right, DM, take her away.
All right, everyone ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ready.
Okay.
Yes, Dungeon Daddy.
I'm still not calling him that.
Oh, I'm gonna call him it so much.
Making call him Dungeon
Oh.
Dude, bro.
Dungeon Dude, bro. I'll do that.
Thanks.
Dungeon Dude.
Dungeon Cowbro.
Dungeon, yep.
Aw.
So, last we had left off, we got introduced to two interesting women of perhaps some bit of nobility, as well as a very odd uh, pair from Torshavn, and a rather mysterious red dragonborn that was making their way to the west gate, awaiting the arrival of a cart. In the meantime, we are going to jump over to the library, which is about here.
Is that secret one?
Yeah, this one right
Okay.
here.
The library.
Yep. Uh, with the last two more individuals busily studying through some books, who've brushed past each other on occasion. The library is a nice polished stone brick with dark mahogany wood bookcases lined with books of varying thickness and levels of dust. In the back corner, we can see a a human male, slicked off to the side and back, blonde hair, busily cleaning up some of the dust, trying to keep his library as tidy as possible. But amongst the different desks and tables and chairs sits Will and Iris. If you would like to introduce yourselves.
Which one first?
You could go first.
Well, Iris, this rather strange-looking female. She, by all intents and purposes, if you look at her from distance, you thought she might be human, except for the tiger-like ears and tail that seem to slip out from her green little cloak that she always seemed to have the hood on and have the ears slowly poking out just for comfort. Locks of long white hair. Not exactly natural, but more grown that way, and peek out and frame her face with this vivid green, almost emerald-like eyes with a cat-like slits. She's a shifter to anyone. It seems to be a rather weird little cat lady, but she, at the current moment, she's just paging through different books, just all on different types of monsters, but none of them seem to really catch her eye. Pulls back a little bit and again, just nothing. It's roughly closes the book, just looks almost a little bit frustrated.
Okay.
Hmm.
Will, how about you?
Well, he looks almost standard, He has black hair that's a little long, just enough to make a short ponytail. If it was down, it would probably reach to the middle of his neck. He has brown eyes, and the shape of his ears indicate that he is a half elf, half human, half high elf. He's
Continue.
uh, he's just wearing a standard short sleeve blue shirt, black pants, and adorned was a black cloak with his hood down. But most noticeable on his face were these two scars. One that goes from his left cheekbone all the way down to the middle of his chin, and another one that grazed vertically on the right corner of his lips. and poking out from his right sleeve, you could see a graze of a bullet wound, all scarred over. He is currently looking over a book on runes and just calmly looking through each rune to see if any of them were familiar to him.
Go ahead and give me an investigation. And as you do that, Iris, as you kind of close the book, you do recognize the familiar half-elf man of Will. The two of you have helped each other study regarding your separate topics, but he's busily in a book. Go ahead and give me that investigation check there, Will.
Okay, I just rolled. Let me see what I get for addition. That is 23.
23. While there is at least in this book, and through the times that you've been looking through, there are elven runes. There's even a bit of like Goliath language that might be able to be interpreted as runes for more natural magics. You've seen some gnomish ones. None of them, unfortunately, are too familiar to what you're looking for, or too similar.
He sighs, and when he hears Iris, slam her book shut, he just chuckles and says, I'm guessing there's no luck on your end either.
You would not understand how often people will just have regular books or any of the good stuff is in a language I can't even understand.
And what language is that, if I may ask?
This one's in Dwarven, but I at least try to understand it. Just I should have studied more. She gets up slowly and just kind of walks over. Any luck on your end?
He sighs and says, this is probably my third book on runes, and I still haven't found the runes I've been looking for.
Another morning fruitless adventure.
Unfortunately.
As you say that, the library doors swing open. And
sorry.
The two of you immediately recognize, specifically, more so you, Will. You recognize. There we go. You recognize Lieutenant Octavia Lancer, approaching middle age, human woman, dark brown hair that kind of covers over their ears, leather armor with a bit of metallic plating on the pauldrons, dark green cloak swung over the back with the familiar pin of the Teeming Legion. She's almost at a quick march as she's tracking mud down the central hallway of this library. And as soon as you see the mud, you both look to the librarian, and before the librarian can even voice his concerns, you just hear Octavia, "Not now, Sebastian." And he just almost tips back over the ladder slightly and just, "Scheiße," and goes back to cleaning the shelves of the bookcase.
Will just says in Elvish, he is going to be stressing about this for the rest of the day.
And as
he nods.
as Octavia approaches, "I've been looking for you. I know today is supposed to be your day off, dear Will. But something's come up, and we're a little bit stretched manpower-wise. I've already called for Drada to appear." And kind of looks to Iris. "Yeah, you can come with us. It shouldn't be long."
Can we catch that name again?
Will.
The lieutenant?
Mm-hmm.
Octavia Lancer.
Okay.
Will stands up, takes out an insignia of the Teeming Legion and just put it on his cloak and says, "What is the issue, Lieutenant Lancer?"
We've got some interesting intel. Normally I would brief you in private, but considering how quickly we need to move, Iris, you're more than welcome to come along.
That's fine. You could explain it to us along the way.
Okay. As the two of you are led back out of the library, Octavia pulls a spare pen, a very simplistic one, low ranking for an enlistee, and hands it to you, Iris. Just in case anything happens, I'm not asking you to enlist. I know you've been through enough.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And as you can hear Sven turn, can you? Yes, yes, yes. And you see a slight wave of her hand as she uses the mold earth spell and just drags some of the mud back out, leaving a completely spotless entryway. You guys head out of the south gate, and she gives a slight pause and looks to a plaque to all of your left, the right, if you're looking at the library. Will, this is a familiar plaque to you. And she salutes it, gives a slight bow.
Will frowns and approaches the plaque, places a hand on it, and he says, it's a shame what happened. Even more so that no one still knows the who or the why.
And
his thumb grazed upon two specific names before he backs away, salutes, and then turns around.
And Octavia will have placed her hand on your shoulder. If both of you will come with me, and she leads you down the front steps, and you guys hang an immediate right towards the barracks. Will, you would know that the barracks actually do open on either end of the wall. This one just happens to be the more formal entryway. Atop of it is the Grand Plains Palace. Just up on top and off to the side is where I'm drawing a blank on his name already. Harlan Thorald? Sounds right.
Talked about the magistrate.
No, the Lord. Yeah, Harlan Thorald.
Harlan Thorald.
Yep, and the Lord of Trustfell lives amongst the barracks. And as the two of you are led up the front step into well, I know both of you are.
Thank you for the follow, Creature of Gaming. Really appreciate you.
Very vetted interest in what the libraries hold. As I said, something's come up, particularly from the south. And as you guys enter into the meeting room, you each flash your badge. Iris, you're a little shy with it.
Awkward with it. A little awkward
Yeah.
with it. Like, this isn't something I normally do. Just
Where's the barracks at?
The barracks is right next door.
Okay, the big building. Got it.
Yeah, the big blue building in the middle.
Big blue building.
You are all met, and the two of you are funneled into a meeting room. You can see Drada and a small squadron of soldiers of the Teeming Legion, about 3 or 4. A majority of those that aren't patrolling the walls are down within the streets of the city. Well, the reason I've gathered you all here is we have intel to suggest that a notorious criminal is going to be released within our streets. This was information from the chapter of Steel. So, and she lays out the map, and you can see the western district, the southwestern district. So, let me just draw a quick little freehand. Is this whole area right here? You can see, you can see the layout of the southwestern district. We have reason to believe that this criminal is going to be coming in with some mercenaries. We don't know anything about the name, what the intentions of the mercenary group are, but we'll have you. I'm going to have each of you, and she points to the two of you and to a couple of the soldiers. You're going to take the eastern roads of the intersection. Trotta, you take the other two, and you'll come with me, and we'll move through the south alleys and come out the south side near the park. We are only there to survey the situation. This is vague intel at best. Though the source is reliable, the details are very few. We don't know who this criminal is, what their intentions are, or anything regarding their history aside from aside from the distribution of illicit goods. And we believe that there's going to be a package with them. I don't know the contents of the package, but if things are to go south, your goals are to apprehend the suspected criminal and whatever package they're bringing. Is that clear?
Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Be safe. May the morning sun guide you.
Yes.
And you all make your way out the back entrance. About here. Oh, second. Go back. About here, you go past the archery range. You can see a couple of teeming Legion enlistees are beginning to really kind of come into their own. Octavia and Drada head south with the two soldiers. You can see them maneuvering past the southern archery range. The two of you do actually recognize one of the soldiers that is with you. This is a very recent enlistee who's just now made the rank of private. You recognize him. Well, both of you recognize him, and his name, if I could find the right generator, because I thought I had it saved, but I do not.
If I hear a name, I'm writing it down. I hope you know.
Pen at the ready.
I have pens at the ready and a pencil, so yeah.
It's Edmar Blaine.
Edma.
You remember briefly teaching Will, you briefly remember teaching Edmar the ways of the sword, being more dexterous in terms of your training. Iris, you would remember Edmar as a person from Rembark's Rest. So what are
still wrapped up?
I'm not particularly book smart as much as I've tried to study, and as you guys are walking your way through the city, I just want to do what I can so it doesn't happen again.
Oftentimes, that's all we can do. That's all we can.
Will, and he nods to you, Iris, and kind of shuffles a little bit closer, having that shared past. He kind of looks to you, and then he looks to you, Will. I know you've been looking to be a sun seeker, and I know that's going to be dangerous.
I know. I am aware.
Just thank you for everything. You taught me a lot. I hope to do you proud.
Well, you're part of the way by making it to private plane.
Thank you. And so, and as you guys continue, there's still that instilled formality where you will, especially, this isn't the time particularly to be formal. Private plane just stops, salutes immediately, and then comes back into ranks. But as you guys make your way west past the archery range, northwest, and then west again towards the Gulping Gecko, where do you all set up? Private Blaine will be with you, Will.
I mean, they'd probably see Liz at some point because she's hanging around the Western Gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll come back to that.
Okay. Go for it.
Where to be stationed?
Yep. It would be
So fucking scared right now.
this intersection right here.
Okay.
So you guys, the two of you can, would be the eastern side would be north side of the road, tucked behind the building. You could be up on top of the buildings.
I'd probably do side of the building.
Side of the building, kind of tucked between,
Yeah.
leaned up against it.
Yeah.
And was standing the post. Iris, what about you? You're going with the other soldier.
Most likely, we'd be going across the road on the other side.
South side. Okay.
Yeah. More along the lines of around possibly here-ish. Or
Okay, southwest side.
Yeah.
Or southeast. Because
yeah.
you guys were tasked with the east side, so you'd probably want to stay on this side.
Yeah. So she not exactly doesn't seem to fit in quite as well. So she's just more as of kind of just pretending to be like an uninterested party, but just kind of hovering in the area where she's supposed to be.
Okay. Both of you go ahead and give me perception checks.
Okay.
That's a 17.
That's a 15 for me.
Okay. On the approach, Will, you can see up on the roof on the south side, there appears to be some kind of a tabaxi woman, busily cleaning one of the chimneys and repairing some tile work on top of the roof. Both of you notice, and you will kind of take a quick note of that. Both of you notice a human male, kind of a simplistic black jacket. Simple brown knapsack over the shoulder. He seems to be entertaining a child with some very simplistic illusion magic. And the kid's parents, who are kind of watching this, try to offer him some gold, and he just waves them off. He's like, no, no, it's okay. And just you all have a good day, and gestures them back east. And as the family kind of passes you, the human male just kind of gives you a quick nod. There's a slight light brown hair, kind of waves within the wind slightly, nods, and leans back at the wall and just begins practicing his illusion. What do you guys do?
Do I know him?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Well, I mean, I got a nat 20.
Nat 20.
Holy
Second
shit.
one.
Plus
Second
2.
nat 20.
Plus 2 if I'm doing my modifier. So 22. Yeah, 22.
22. Okay. You don't recognize him. It's a fairly large city, so you might have. You obviously can't know particularly everybody, but his face seems somewhat familiar to not be amiss. And as he's kind of practicing his illusion magic, he kind of rubs his free hand over the forearm of the hand that's doing, the somatics of the illusion. Very simplistic, kind of a cantrip, dancing lights, perhaps.
Is he seeming to be acting a little out of sorts than most other people?
Not particularly, just seems like an interesting fellow.
She kind of just moseys on over near Will and just like, how do you feel about this situation?
So you're back on the north side with Will?
Yep. She was just kind of moseying through that area. So.
Okay.
Sorry,
Will, you got anything?
sorry. I know that I'm not there, but I think it.
Mm.
At least it went kind of under the radar for me. Like, at least in terms of description. Like, what does this gentleman look like again?
Fairly average human, light brown hair, kind of slicked back, fairly simplistic jacket, and there was an odd moment where he rubbed his forearm. And he was casting some kind of an illusion magic to entertain a child.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And refusing money.
Yep, and he refused money. Will, you got anything, or we good to move on?
I can't think of anything.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
So.
Sorry.
Not a problem.
A little giggle. Oh. The DM is smiling, everybody.
Perfect. All right. So, last but not least, 6. You've been, for the most part, standing in this Iron Maiden-like, in a way, coffin. You haven't been able to track the days. The occasional sunrise, sunset. You don't know what time of day you fell asleep, what time you woke up. You know your regiment in terms of being brought out to use the restroom and get some food. You remember Siobhan, a kinder individual. She was the one that would bring you out make sure you got your food. Kind of kept the other mercs at bay. And you hear a slight knock against this metallic tomb that you found yourself in. And you hear a voice. Hey, I know we've never got to. I know you're not one to really share your name, but we'll be in Trustville shortly. Are you okay?
There's just
And
the response for, are you okay? Just
one knock.
yeah.
Okay. I need the rest of you to make perception checks.
All of
Okay.
us.
Everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, why did I do that?
Is that perception?
Perception. A majority of you aren't going to be in this next little phase, but just to get a glimpse of what's going on. See how
I
much
got
you
an
all
18.
catch.
Thank God I didn't hit my head on something again.
I got an 18.
15.
Okay, so 10, 9, 19. What were the others?
18.
25.
18, 25, and 15. Okay. Very simplistic group check. So as you're all minding your own business, going amongst your day, whether it's having breakfast with a Goliath, selling wares, just keeping tabs on the situation, or peeking through the window while you're performing, you all watch as a fairly sturdy cart is drawn in by 3 horses. And it's brought down through the western gate. Me ping here through here as a red dragonborn falls into line with them and makes their way to the very center of the intersection. The wheels itself are reinforced a little bit with some metal for the added weight of a metallic plated floor of the cart with tall steel hollow bars at each corner, crisscrossing over the top with dense chain link like surroundings that are rolled up on each end as what looks like mercenaries begin to disembark. At the center is a large metallic Iron Maiden, of a very dense metal. There's just enough of a slot with about head height to allow light in. And you can see that the Iron Maiden, there's slight tracks with chains that lead into the Iron Maiden to restrain whoever's inside. But as a half-elven man, fairly burly build, climbs up into the back of the cart as the rest disembark. 6, you hear dum 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 on your Iron Maiden. Prisoner, prepare to exit. And you all watch as the Iron Maiden swings open, and clad in very pale gray slacks and shirt, and wrapped from knees to shoulder in chains with a metal muzzle. 6. Describe yourself to the party, please.
So, wrapped head to toe in chains. There is a shock of bloody red hair. Not like actually like coated in blood, but the color of blood. and shaven on the sides and the backs, and like sort of like, you know, the tough guy, like 90s tribal designs shaven in. There's no foundation in terms of makeup, but like there's eyeliner slash eyeshadow that's probably been faded by days and by sweat. Her brows are creased just from the years of anger. Her feet are shackled. Her hands are shackled and within like steel like cuffs so that she can't not like move at all. She'd basically have to be like pulled out by the chains and then lowered before she can really be released. It seems that she's been restrained enough to where, like, until she is fully released, there is no motion. Oh, one moment. Thank you, Glodden6021, for the follow.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Her like, what skin is showing, so like her arms, chest, face, and neck are, it's not dirt, it's soot, kind of mixed with sweat. But aside from that, no, she'll let them pull her out of the cart because she has no other choice.
Okay. And you've gone through the routine by now. The first thing undone is the leg restraints allowing you to step forward. And as you step forward, you all watch as a metallic platform shifts out on its own as she approaches it to act as kind of like a small elevator. Six, getting a lay of the situation. You see Siobhan just off to your left against the building, talking with some member of the state of the Teeming Legion. The burlier half-elven man, probably the worst of the bunch, is in stride with you as the rest are holding your chains in place. Keeping them taut against your body. You can see and Liz, you see this as well. As the two of them descend, he is holding a leather knapsack. Not much in it in terms, just by how it's hanging off of his hand. Six, you can see a familiar pair of boots strung through the straps. You can gather that your clothes and your personal effects are somewhere inside, accented at the very top with a very thin, familiar set of roll of parchment that you've had for a while. And Liz, as you watch this man bring this woman out and down, while definitely a little bit older and much, much angrier, you can gather that this is the person you're expected to look after.
This is who you're babysitting. Can I exit that guy's house, if that's okay, to watch?
Not quite in the scene yet.
Okay.
Liz will kind of greet the people and Six as well, and she'll just kind of shows that she's got the rap sheet and stuff, and goes, "I'll be taking Six into my care, and will be responsible for everything."
And to which her response is simply, just mumbling into the muzzle, with a roll of her eyes.
I mean, let her go. She's on parole. It's time to let her out of the chains.
I'm getting to that. Just good luck with this one. And he, before you're ready for it, just tosses her knapsack to you. As it just scatters into the ground, you can see the parchment jut out a little bit more. And as she begins to undo the handcuffs and then the muzzle. It's like,
I'll gently
I don't
pick
know
up
what
her stuff as well, by the way, while he's doing that.
Okay. The half-elf man will look to you, Six. He's got a slightly metallic helmet, not necessarily a full helm, as his ears and eyes are still visible, as well as his mouth. Well, I'm not sure what Adler and Shaft needs to be doing here, but you're out of my hair now. And he takes the muzzle off of you as he begins to work on the chains. What do you do, Six?
Oh, sorry, what did he say?
I was like, I'm not sure what Adler and Shash needs to be doing here, but you're not my problem anymore.
So once he's got the cuffs off, I'll just kind of like rub at the like the chafing wounds of like how she's been trying to kind of bust at them when she's been in the sarcophagus. And then just, she's not saying anything. He's going to go ahead and run his mouth as much as he wants. But once the cuffs are off, she's going to grab the chain that's connected to the collar around her neck. And there's just this.
Yeah.
Just drops the chain.
Liz, you watch as Six grabs a particularly rusted portion of the chain, grabs at it, pulls and twists, and you just hear the strain of as she undoes her own restraints, snapping the bit of rusted chain.
There is a flash. It's very quick. A flash of, impressive on Liz's face before she schools her expression back into just kind of resting bitch face.
Yeah.
Can I use that as a potential intimidation check on this guy?
Sure, go for it.
We have our barbarian.
Not necessarily, because I have no charisma.
That's fine.
That is a straight 18, no modifier.
Straight 18.
Impressive.
Nice.
There's the slightest moment of concern, not necessarily fear or worry. He kind of takes a moment and reaches into his pocket and pulls out essentially a Zippo lighter and a pack of smokes and pops one into his mouth. Okay. And lights and begins to light the cigarette.
I'm just gonna look over at the knapsack. Did Liz pick it up?
Liz picked it up, but
she's currently brushing the dust off.
Yeah, you watched him throw it fairly disrespectingly.
Her jaw tightens.
Oh,
she looks back at him, and there's kind of like that, the vein in the forehead pop out.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You're tempting her.
Just gonna fucking sucker punch him. Strong right hook.
Do I look up just in time to see that?
You look up just in time. Go ahead and give me an attack roll at advantage. 6.
Oh, man. So the first one was like a 17 plus 6, and then it was a nat 20 plus 6.
Yes!
Okay.
Oh, with that, one moment. I'm also going to throw in Forged Heart. And
I want to know what that does.
For the audience, what does that do?
Your unarmed strikes are considered adamantine weapons. In addition, when you hit a creature with an unarmed attack, you can spend 1 key point to force it to make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes an additional 2d6 damage of the same type as the unarmed strike and can be pushed up to 15 feet away.
Okay.
Flat.
Is that all you're adding together?
Um,
Because I would say you're more irritated, and not necessarily.
yeah, I think that's all I'm adding together. And just give you the solid punch.
Okay, go ahead. So roll damage and double it because of crit,
All right,
and then double it again.
One moment. Thank you for following Lord Navasa. Appreciate you for following.
Hey, that's my buddy.
Thank you, my lord.
Thanks, Nev.
All right, so what am I doing?
So go ahead and roll for damage, double it, and then double it again because he nat 1'd his strength save.
Oh my god. Okay, so if I recall, my at this level my attack is 1d6, right?
For monks. 1 second. I believe so. I just want to double check. No, 1d4.
A monk at 1d4?
Yep, level 3, 1d4. It's 1d6 at level 5.
You're right. Okay, all right, fair enough. So 1d4. So let me see here. All right, so add it all together. That's 19 times 2 for
19.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
remember,
because of strength.
the 2 extra d6.
Yeah.
So 19 doubled to 36, and then doubled again for what, 82?
Was it 19, 36, 72?
72. That's it.
72 points of damage.
And he's thrown 15 feet back.
So, Liz, as you look up, at the last second, you sidestep as you watch the back of this man's head come flying at you as he's lifted off his feet.
This man might
Blood
be dead.
Might.
strewn through the air as his armor skids. He just slams limply against the ground, a smear of blood. You can note, you see that as he's kind of onto his stomach and his face is tilted off to the side, the front of his mask, his helmet, has been pushed into his face. Shattered nose, shattered orbital cavities, couple of teeth missing. And it's with this, the mercs and a couple of the surrounding teaming legion draw their swords in a slight standoff. Liz, what do you do?
Liz raises her hand,
Okay.
kind of waves everybody like down. That's 1 strike. All right. And she just kind of adds another assault charge to the bottom.
I am totally ignoring everybody drawing their weapons. I'm just gonna go to the dude's body, take his smokes, take his lighter, and just light up.
Okay.
Generally, we frown upon killing people, but seeing as he was quite literally asking for it, I think it's a strike, but we're gonna work on it.
Yeah.
Just gonna enjoy that first breath of freedom.
Okay, just and with where you've been, while you've had slight glimpses of it, now that you've kind of taken in the surrounding six, There's vibrant green grass. You can smell the salt water just coming in from the east. A little bit of morning dew is now faded and gone. It is a far cry from where you were.
Oh yeah, no, there's this. It's an emotional moment. Like there's that first breath, closed eyes,
and you smell freshly made food coming from a tavern nearby as a waiter brings out some food to some patrons who are all looking at you stunned. But there's fresh food nearby.
I'm just gonna kind of lip the cigarette, go over, and just point at the gentleman's glass of water. Give me that.
Don't spill other people's drinks. I'll get you food here in
I'm
just a moment.
just gonna hold up a hand, just my finger. Just hang on. Water.
Well,
Water goes.
this was for you can see the waiter who's like a 15-year-old kid at best. He's trembling. You can see the water shaking, kind of like
I'm just gonna kind
the
of
cup of water
calmly
in Jaws
grab the
or
cup.
in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I'm just gonna calmly grab the cup and take a sip and put it back on.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab it and take a sip and put it back on, just holding that eye contact. Like it's hard eye contact.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Check for the 15-year-old.
Yeah, I actually just rolled one. He's trembling, and you watch as he gets to compose himself. There's a slight tilt to the tray as one of the glasses of water just shatters against the ground, and he's kind of, I'll be right back, and just goes back inside with all the food. He didn't even like deliver the rest of the food. He just went back inside.
Poor baby boy.
And the three patrons that were at the table just kind of scoot their chairs back slowly, stand up, kind of look to Liz slightly, and then just slowly back into the tavern.
Just calmly walk by where they were sitting, set down the empty glass now.
Okay.
Oh, good lord, that was hilarious.
It was.
I'm assuming the two of you take a seat.
I guess Liz is following. I thought she was going to have to negotiate with more people, but if not, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'll just take a seat where they were. I'll just take a seat where they were. Thank you for the follow, Das Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Liz will go and sit down. She hands Six her bag of effects.
Her bag of tricks.
Okay.
I'll just take it. No thank you, because, like, no manners. I'm just gonna go through her stuff, make sure it's all there. Just gonna look up at everybody. I'm gonna look up, like...
Hold on, guys. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay.
So me and Wilk, we saw all that, right?
You saw that. You also saw that there was a couple teeming Legion guards
Here, I'll be
who are
right back.
now who are now working with you can see a couple of teeming Legion guards. One of them is hastily trying to cast healing magic into this merc.
Who is undoubtedly just
undoubtedly gone. And you can just see it. I can just clean everything up. You can see that for now it's calmed down. But we'll come back to that.
I do have a question.
I'm in a different area, correct?
You are all you Mur are actually in the tavern. You saw a scared, pissless waiter dart back into the tavern. But let's focus back in on the scene.
Yep. Sorry.
All good. What was your
How much
question,
gold
Liz?
do I have?
You
I don't
have
know.
what you've earned, and in the envelope was 5 silver and 10 copper, meant for 6.
Back.
Okay. You can tell me how much I've earned later, because I don't know how much that is. But Liz will also we'll pull out the 10 the money. It's like, here, this was sent along for you as well. Wanted to make sure you got it.
What's that investigation check there? 6.
Just a 13.
13. Looking through it, you kind of pull out the thin bit of parchment, and this is kind of the first time you actually get a good look at it, Liz. It's fairly thin. In the interior side of the roll is a dark blue. She kind of sets it off to the side, pulling out of the jacket. What does it of a dark red jacket? What does the jacket say on the back?
So it is a dark red, sort of a leather, faux leather maybe, jacket with some metallic adornments here and there, but emblazoned across the back in like actually rather fine stitching. She probably didn't buy this. It's just the words, just don't.
Yeah. Metal.
Yeah.
But peeking through the rest of the bag, you do see your brown slacks, and obviously your black boots are on the outside of the knapsack. So you're like, okay,
Yeah,
hustle everything back
I
in.
am straight up just getting dressed in the middle of the street. I put on my boots, and they are clunky. Just
I love her.
pulls them tight, tucks the strings. Doesn't really tie them. She will just throw on the jacket over her like laborer's jerkin, what we would call a tank top, and just like back facing her, she just kind of like slings it over her shoulder and slides her arms in.
As you kind of sit back down, and this odd pairing of you, the two of you staring face to face, the waiter comes back and noticeably at a distance, uh, sets out like the whole waiter's tray with a plate of eggs and bacon for you 6, and then a glass of water, and maybe like a salad because this kid saw the meal you had, Liz.
Just start digging right in. I'm hungry.
Okay, Liz.
Liz is just kind of like, she's more focused on like making sure that everybody knows that she's handling this at this point than actually eating.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm like going full chipmunk cheeks here.
Oh,
Nice.
and then after a moment, she just kind of looks at 6 and goes, "We're gonna have to set some ground rules here, okay?"
And she'll just kind of like look up at her from under her brow.
Mostly, she kind of gestures to the scene that she caused. That's not really appropriate, and neither is stealing people's water.
And she'll just grab her water and just kind of, swig of the rest of, her mouth full down.
6. As you are kind of knocking back this water, you've these last 5-10ish minutes. It's been probably the most relaxing in a while. You've got fresh food. You've got crystal clear water. There's no permanent heat billowing through a cramped window. But you get that same sensation of being watched.
So, as Liz is going on with her lecture, the first of many, I assure you, Six's eyes are darting around. She's not paying attention. She is, one, looking for exits. 2, looking for valuables. And 3, looking for who's staring at her.
Do you let Liz know this?
No.
Or would she be able to infer?
She, like, it's obvious that 6 is not paying attention to anything that she's saying. She is casing.
Okay. Liz, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Oh, that's horrible. Hang on.
I regret getting lunch at the Goliath place, but you know what? Ass is ass.
Hey, yo, get it, girl.
8.
8.
That's with a +4. So
there is, given the brazen darting of the eyes, there is a purpose behind them, but you can't figure out what.
I'm gonna regret this. I kind of get the attention of anybody that's like nearby and wave them away. Right. Like anybody who is in a direct line next to me, I tell them to move.
Okay. As you're looking around and 6 is casing the place, eating, looking at you, casing the place, looking for jewels. And as you kind of look to turn around, I need a perception check from you.
From Liz or from me?
From Liz.
Okay.
10.
10. Okay. Well, luckily it wasn't a high roll.
Thank God.
You can see that a couple, a few of the mercs all of the mercs are busy tidying up their friend's body. You can see it.
She winces a little bit at that.
And then you notice very briefly a shock of bright pink hair cresting over just over the top of the cart that 6 had just come in. And whoever it is seems to be busy with something.
Liz will kind of look over, get 6's attention. If you stay here, I'll buy you another round of food.
You got my attention?
I'm gonna go check something out.
Fine.
Stay.
Fine.
And she's just gonna go, and like with the whole like stay, she's gonna go completely derisively, no respect.
Okay. Liz, as you kind of get up from the table, you and look, now that you're standing, you can see the longer, probably shoulder length pink hair, fairly simplistic jacket. They're hunched over, focusing on trying to mess with something on the inside of the cart.
What are you doing?
I should have also mentioned there is a brass backpack looking thing on their back with 2 rings towards the back.
With 2 what?
Do I recognize it?
With 2 rings, like rings, like circles, down near the hips. Give me an intelligence check, Liz. Or Arcana.
I think my dice is can it be religion? I'm kidding.
No, sadly not.
Okay. Well, my intelligence and Arcana are 1, so.
Ooh.
For a 10.
10. All right.
Not bad. Not great.
And you were starting off so well too.
As you begin to approach and you're kind of looking at them, you kind of focus in a little too hard. And they sense you approaching. we've been wondering where you went. I need everyone to hush. Seraph,
Yo,
can you play that other link that I sent you in the very beginning?
can do. 3, 2, 1, go.
Those words send shivers down your spine, Liz. And as this individual stands up, it's a feminine figure, a rusted iron accented with brass and bronze draconic mask, pink lenses where the eyes would be, vents on either end of a snout so it resembles a dragon. As they stand upright, the backpack begins to whir with arcana and begins to unfurl into metallic bladed feather wings. Back by the hips, those rings extend out and out to the side, and being to hum as she hovers in midair. Iris and Will, that human male you were looking at, is gone, and as you walking down the street, you can see a similar mask, dark purple lenses, sleeves rolled up with a dragon mark of Advalor on each of his forearms, with a rune neither of you recognize. And you hear that private's voice. Will, I'm sorry. And you look, and his blade has been drawn against your neck. His eyes glazed over under the spell of Dominate Person.
Son of a bitch.
In the middle of the performance, you watch the Leonin has stepped up and outside. A ruby mask. Just ruby lenses. More draconic than the others. Valediction. The gnomish gentleman you had been talking to has donned a sapphire one and is ushering people to leave as he starts making his way towards the center of the intersection. Ruby, I'm sorry, but Mathis dons a mask as well, as you're eating your lunch with him. Dark green emerald lenses, similar draconic aesthetic. And you watch as, from the rooftops, that Tabaxi woman had thrown 3 or 4 cylindrical metallic devices into the streets as smoke begins to spew out, covering the area. And as the wyverns begin to close in on the cart and Liz, that's where we're going to end the session.
Okay.
You mother fluffer. Oh,
Six
it
is just-
seems so nice.
Six is just gonna kick back, kind of like toss her feet up on the table and cross them, and take a long drag from her cigarette.
I was enjoying a good breakfast.
Not 6 being like, I was told to stay here. I ain't doing shit.
Yeah. Doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm following orders like a good dog.
I wish I didn't inspect their chest.
I am so glad none of you guys incited these people.
As soon as you DM'd me that, I was like, oh, wait, fuck, should I? And then, hey, now I know what he looks like without the fucking mask.
That's not a good thing. It means you've seen his face. No witnesses.
And Mathis might not even be his real name.
I still know what this bitch looks like.
Well,
Great session, you guys. I hope you're ready for combat in 2 weeks.
I hope you know how tempted I am. I will shove his hand. You know where.
So, when I was looking around, Wouldn't I have gotten a perception check to see if anybody was staring at me?
Actually, yeah. Go ahead and retroactively roll
Yeah,
that.
just
I
a
apologize.
retroactive. I want, kind of see if I saw this coming.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta put my sheet up now. Jesus Lord. We got the metallic steampunk version of the fucking Power Rangers coming after our asses.
I probably saw
Hold
this
on.
coming with a 22.
What'd you get? You did see that coming. You saw it coming when Siobhan donned the pink topaz mask.
With
That
You
same
said
merc
the-
that was the same
Sorry.
merc that was nice to Six during her journey is the one that put on the pink topaz mask and was shuffling through the cart.
Well, that's just wonderful.
Now you guys don't know who to trust. And I'm so glad that I got to say a spell out loud and none of you caught how fucked you are.
No, I immediately knew when you said dancing lights.
Oh, no.
No, it
No,
wasn't
he's not
that.
talking about dancing. He's talking about dominate person. Yeah, fuck you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good
I
session,
was
guys.
listening.
Nav, Tony,
I was
I'm
listening.
so glad you guys came here.
Yeah,
I caught that.
being that Six saw this shit coming, she's definitely not kicking in. She kind of wants to watch this.
Okay, which house am I in? Because I still don't know.
I will have to move your tokens around before we start next session, but I can actually move you guys over. If the mouse will behave. 1 second.
Behave, mouse.
I honestly totally thought we were going to get into combat like in this session. I mean, it's only
I
10
know.
p.m.
I was
No,
so
not-
ready to.
Not
Me
with,
too.
unfortunately, not with this many people. We're probably going to have full sessions dedicated combat.
Fair.
Ruby, you are right here.
Okay, and I have the green mask, motherfucker.
Yeah, actually, which reminds me, let me shift these guys around because
I've been betrayed. I was having a lovely dinner or lovely breakfast, and this
I mean,
motherfucker.
he's not exactly after you now, is he?
I know, but I gotta come and save your ass.
You don't know me. You don't gotta do shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
yeah,
right.
all of you could really watch. Like, if you all really wanted, with the exception of Iris and Will, you could all watch Liz just get her shit pushed in.
I could just walk across the road and have a drink with Six. Be like, hey, you want some whiskey to go with the show?
I don't care about what's going on. I'm gonna see trouble and I'm gonna be like, BB, and run off to Bird Friend.
Yeah, sounds good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no,
I know what I'm doing next session.
At least you're
Maybe I
not being held
shouldn't.
at sword point.
Maybe I should
leave-
convince
let-
people to
Where
not
am
help
I
me.
on the map?
Let's
I'm
leave
lost.
the plans to discuss for in the heat of the moment and leave it true because
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys the players wouldn't have
Buy this bitch a
2
drink.
weeks.
wouldn't have these moments to plan. So it's all going to be skin your teeth combat, very outclassed. There's options. I will say this: there are options that you can explore as portions of your turns, and they the wyvern are there for a specific reason.
Wait, they're called the Wyvern?
The wyvern.
Yeah, they're all wearing wyvern masks.
Mm-hmm.
Not dragon, wyvern. There is a distinction.
Yeah, they are all wearing different colored wyvern masks. One's pink, one's green, one's purple, one's red, one's blue, one's yellow.
Yeah, one's light green.
Quick thing though, I didn't hear any of the music.
Yeah, no, I wasn't playing
Same.
it in Discord. I was playing it on the stream.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
fair
stream
enough.
side.
Fair enough.
So yeah, if you want the full experience, you're gonna have to go back and watch the stream.
Which will be good for note taking.
Yeah, I will also be posting this on my YouTube as well. That will give the necessary credit to artists and what have you. Obviously, I did not make any of the music. All of their artists own the songs.
Who was the art? Who did you use for the ambient music? Because I have the names of the intro music and that one with the wyverns.
Who did say one more time? One more time.
Who do you have for the ambiance music? Who was the artist behind that? Because I can credit the other two right now.
And the ambiance music, honestly, is that really doesn't have a credit. It's, I mean, one, it's copyright free. Two, it wasn't even music. It was just the sounds of like a city.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the artists that we use for the intro music, that is Peter Crowley, a very talented musician who makes free to use music. Is absolutely talented. And the other song, My Way by Nefex, is another free to use song, both available on YouTube.
Okay. Crowley.
Crowley.
Definitely gonna have to go back and rewatch the episode to take more in-depth notes, but I do think my key points they're pretty good so far. I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
Why?
You ruined a perfectly good breakfast.
That's funny.
All
Sexy
right.
Goliath man is trying to kill people.
Let's go ahead and wrap it.
Yep.
You
So
keep talking after.
stick around, guys.
Emotional, damn it!
So stick around,
Bye,
guys. I
stream.
am going to raid off, and we're gonna go
Bye, stream.
and visit someone. So I hope
Bye,
you guys.
stream.
Excuse me.
Guys, let me finish.
I hope you guys have a great night, and be sure to join us again. Well, tomorrow we'll be streaming, but the next D&D game will be the week after next. We do on and off weeks. On our off weeks, we'll be having D&D 101, maybe doing some recaps of the previous session. We'll see how things go. But until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Safe and
had
be
so much
cool, my
fun.
friends.
Is it Tuesday yet?
We can't take that one.
Trademark.
Man,
No, that's Thursday.
You know, I'm actually really happy that two of my friends got to swing by and not only get to see this, but